Hey guys, welcome back to another video. So today we're going to be talking about an issue that I really haven't given much thought until it happened to us. Predatory towing. This is something that can seriously hinder your operations or, in the worst case, really put you out of business. So today we're going to be talking about what predatory towing is, how to figure out that you are a victim of predatory towing, our experience, and what you can do about it. Ready? Let's go. So first and foremost, what in the world is predatory towing? Well, it's exactly what it sounds like, and unfortunately, it has many faces. But the gist is that a towing company illegally or unethically tows a vehicle with the intent to exploit the owner of that vehicle financially. So for example, something that has become more and more common is towing companies cruising for accidents. They actually have a radio that tells them when an accident happens and where. It's a police scanner, and then they magically swoop in to save the day and help clear the scene of the accident. And once they have a hold of your equipment, you are not getting it back unless you pay some astronomical fee. But then there are also instances of predatory towing that are a little bit less clear, like ours, for example. So we were involved in an accident. The police were called. They found that my guy was not at fault. They did a level 3 inspection on my guy and saw no violations. And then they proceeded to go ahead and call a towing company that happened to be about 10 miles away to help clear the scene of the accident. So this towing company came in, they cleared the scene of the accident, they hooked up our equipment with the cargo on it, and they proceeded to tow away our equipment as well as the other party's equipment to their tow yard, which was again about 10 miles away. And when my guy asked them, can we get our equipment back? They said, we are not releasing the tractor trailer or cargo until you pay us close to $20,000. And that was it. Now, this is something that is called a non-consensual tow. And this happens when the police, for example, at the scene of the accident calls a towing company to come and help, and the driver has no opportunity or ability to negotiate the tow prices and the terms. So yes, of course, we ended up paying out of pocket that 20 grand in order to get our equipment back so that we could get it back as soon as possible. I wish I could say that this was the worst of what happened from that accident, but it's far from it. I'll make a video on that at a different date. Now, enough about us. Imagine an owner-operator who has been struggling for the past 3.5 years, struggling to make ends meet, and they are involved in an accident where they are not at fault, but the police ends up calling a towing company to tow away their equipment, and in order to get it back, they have to pay something like $20,000. If they wait for insurance to kick in and pay that fee, the likelihood is that their equipment is stuck for a while in that tow yard, which means that this owner operator is losing money every day because they don't have equipment to drive in order to make money, right? We're talking about, for example, a one man or one woman show, where it's just one truck, one trailer, one owner operator with his or her own MC. And if this owner operator, this one man or woman show ends up paying out of pocket that obscene amount of money, there is a high chance that they do not have something saved up in order to keep on operating for the time between when they paid the money and when insurance finally reimburses them. And this is the reality of many in the industry who were physically unable because of the condition of the market to build up a safety cushion that is able to withstand such unexpected and astronomical expenses. And unfortunately, a lot of carriers do not have control over the towing process. Like in our case, it wasn't us who called the towing company, it was the police officer, and he insisted that our equipment be towed to remove the hazard from the road. So how do you protect yourself from such an unfortunate situation? Number one, you must know the laws of the state in which you are being towed because of an accident or whatnot. For example, in certain states such as Alabama, Maryland, Maine, Nevada, New Jersey, Tennessee, and Washington, they have cargo release rules, which state that a towing company cannot hold cargo that was on the tractor or the trailer and must release it. Also, in 12 states, there is a maximum rate for police-initiated towings, and those states are Arizona, Colorado, Connecticut, Louisiana, Massachusetts, New Jersey, New Mexico, Ohio, Oklahoma, Utah, Washington, and West Virginia. I'm going to attach a PDF down below, a Google link to a PDF, as well as another link that shows you what your rights are in every single state according to the American Trucking Research Institute. And also there will be a link to the towing regulations by state. So what else can you do other than knowing the laws of the state where you are about to get towed? Well, Overdrive states it best. Number one, always take note of what equipment the towing company brought in, how much staff they brought in, and how long each of their equipment stays on site. Then you will have to compare it to the itemized invoice that you receive when it's time to pay that bill. Number two, take photos and videos of everything, and preferably with timestamps. And there are a lot of applications out there that allow you to take photos with not just a timestamp, but also a location stamp. Number three, when speaking to the towing company, try to use email rather than phone, because you want a paper trail that you will need in the worst case scenario, which is if you take that towing company to court. And number four, avoid signing any document that states anywhere that this is a consensual tow if it is not a consensual tow. Now, what if you're already a victim of this and your equipment is already in the tow yard and they're giving you some astronomical bill to pay in order to get it back? What do you do in this case? Number one, do not pay cash. And when you are paying for this, make sure that you document that you are paying under duress. Paying under duress means that you made payment while being coerced or threatened, and that this payment was not a voluntary act. Basically, if you feel like you have no reasonable alternative but to make the payment to avoid harm, you are doing so under duress. Now, how do you document and prove that you paid under duress? Well, a couple of things. Number one, you have to keep a record of all emails or text messages from the towing company that could signify that there is coercion. Number two, if you can, record specific instances of coercion. Number three, and unfortunately this is the easiest thing to do in this market, is show your financial or other vulnerabilities that made you susceptible to the duress. For example, in our case, payment to the towing company was absolutely made under duress for fear of, number one, reputational damage, because we were afraid of a freight guard or cargo claim if the load was not delivered. And we all know that a cargo claim results in higher insurance, and a freight guard results in not being able to get any more work. We also had the fear of substantial loss, because not being able to get our equipment back means that that one truck is not earning money. So always document everything that relates to you feeling like you do not have a reasonable alternative than to pay. So the good news is that more and more states are starting to pay attention to predatory towing, but I'm going to tell you this: if you are not protecting yourself, no state is going to go out of their way to protect you. Document everything, know your rights, and don't be afraid to ask questions and to push back. Anyway, guys, wishing you all a fantastic rest of your day. Stay safe, stay healthy, and keep learning. See you in the next video.